This is Algebra 1, Lesson 6. And let's do this together real quick. Bud's Bakery had 2 loaves of bread in stock. Bud can bake 3 loaves of bread every hour. Fill in the blanks. Okay, when he first came to work, right here, you're going to always start this at time 0. No time has elapsed, okay? When he came into work that morning, there were already 2 loaves of bread. So he started with 2 loaves of bread. Now what we're going to do here is figure out how many he had each hour after that. Notice he can bake 3 loaves of bread every hour. So if he already had 2 and he can make 3 more, if you add 3, notice you're going to get 5. Then he makes 3 more, which is 8. Then he adds 3 more, which is 11. Notice this is going up by 3. Okay, it says plot the points and connect them. So 0, 2 is right there. That's called the y-intercept, by the way, because it's hitting the y-axis. Then we have 1, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 1, 5. And we have 2, 8. And you know what? I can see that this is going to run off my graph. So what I tell people is just kind of get a straight edge. And I'm holding my phone with one hand, so it's kind of hard to get a straight edge with the other hand. I'm sitting here trying to look around to find one. But I'm just going to eyeball this real quick. I know I'm going to have a nice straight line. Okay, if you use a ruler, kind of line up those points. But you can see 2, 8 should be right there. And then 3, 11 should be right there. Okay, there's 311. But I just kind of had to estimate because it ran off the graph. I put the arrow on there because it keeps going on. As long as he keeps working, this would keep going on and on and on. All right, there is one equation that you definitely need to know. It's called the slope-intercept form, and it looks just like this. Anytime you write in an equation of a line, it's going to take this form. The M right here stands for how fast it's changing. It's the rate of change. So the M stands for your slope, or, let me tell you, the rate of change. The B right here stands for the y-intercept, okay, or your starting value. So right here when it says write an equation for the line, you can see it right there. I've already done it in pencil before, but you always start with this equation right here, y equals mx plus b, and you want to fill in for these 2 values, okay? So you're going to always have the y equals. Notice this is your rate of change. Do you remember how fast it was going up? It's going up at a rate of 3. So I'm going to put a 3 in for that. My beginning value, what you started with right here, was a 2. See, at 0 hours, it was a 2. So it was a positive 2. So this would be your equation. This is great, this equation, because what if I had asked you, okay, what did he make after 4 hours? Well, I could put a little 4 in right here. So if I said, hey, what would it be for 4 hours? You can see, put a 4 in there. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 more is 14. Notice it does work. See, that's 3 more. It's nice because if I said, hey, if he worked for 10 hours, how much would he have? Well, if he worked for 10 hours, put a little 10 in there. 3 times 10 is 30, plus 2 more is 32. So if he worked for 10 hours, and he didn't sell any of his bread, of course, he would have 32 loaves of bread. So these equations are really nice, okay? All right, let's try another one. And let me get this eraser here real quick. Just can you study, please? So we're not seeing in advance what we had. I just dropped my blue pen. So professionally done. Okay. Look right here. Fred's Sporting Goods had 3 back orders for stringing rackets. So when he came in to work that day, he was already short 3 rackets. So when I fill this in, when I came to work, 0 hours elapsed, and I started at a back order of 3. Fred could string 2 rackets each hour. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill this on down. Okay? So if he can string 2 rackets, think about this. Add 2. And you get -1. Add 2, and you get 1. Add 2, and you get 3. Go ahead and plot those points. Just notice I kept adding 2 every hour. So I've got 0, -3. So go nowhere on the x, down 3 on the y. So we're right there. We have 1, -1, 2, 1, and 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we have this, it should always line up to be a nice straight line. If yours don't line up, you plotted them wrong, okay? Or you did your math wrong. Something happened. These should always fall in a nice straight line. So get you a little ruler, little straight edge. You can use the edge of your calculator, the edge of a pencil. Extend your line and put a little arrow on the end because this keeps going on forever and ever. Okay, so then it says to write your equation. I want you to write this equation every single time you do this, so you accidentally memorize it. You're going to fill in these two values right here. You're going to think, what is your slope? Well, do you remember it was going up by 2 each time? So we're going to have a 2x, but he started at a minus 3 because he was down 3. So this is your equation. Okay, so if I said, hey, so how many rackets did he have after 5 hours? You could put a little 5 in right there, and you know that's 2 times 5, which is 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. So you should be able to get that. And you can see if I would have filled these in, and I keep adding 2, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 2 is, so it does work. This equation is nice, so you don't have to do this little t-chart. Because what if I said, what did he get after 100 hours? You wouldn't want to go and do this little t-chart all the way through 100. It'd be a lot easier just to plug in 100 right there and be like, oh, 2 times 100 is 200 minus 3. You know, 197 rackets is what he would have at that point. I think he needs to learn how to do it just a little faster. Okay, let's do one more right here. We'll do number 10. Let me find my little pencil and erase what I've already got from whenever I did it before. Okay, look right here. This is kind of being backwards. It says, using this information, fill in the table. Well, let's just do the same. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to plug this in. Put a 0 in for that x. Okay, if you need to show your work, do it. But it's 2 times 0 is 0. And 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So that's going to go right there. Okay, then put in a 1 for x. That means 2 times 1. And if you want to show your work, it's going to look like that. 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, put a 2 in there. 2 times 2 minus 1. Well, that gives me 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, do you see that it's going up by 2 each time? If you add 2, you get 1. If you add 2, you get 3. If I add 2 more, I should get 5. Let's see if it really does work. Put a 3 in there. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 1 is indeed 5. Okay, so it does work. Plot your points. 0, negative 1. There it is. 1, 1. 2, 5. So you're going to go over 2 and up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. And is that it? Did I skip 2, 3? I did. I can't look through my screen. Shame on me. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. As I say, they didn't fall in a line. And then 3, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. So we'll pretend that dot's not there. I knew something was wrong because it didn't fall in a nice straight line through my phone. So it looks just like that. Okay. Then it says to write a word problem for that graph. You can just make something up. Like when he came to work and he was making, I don't know, pots. He had a back order of 1, but he can make, 2 more pots every hour, whatever you want to do. Just make up some little silly word problem. The only other thing that you need to be sure you know how to do is I noticed over here when you get to like section C, this is 6C, it asks you these interesting equations. Look where it says x equals 5 and x equals negative 2. Let me get a piece of scrap paper real quick. These are special lines. There's 2 types of special lines. Okay, x equals 2 is going to look like this. It's a nice vertical line that goes straight up and down through the x-axis at x equals 2. Remember, this is the x-axis. It's a special line that you're just going to have to memorize. Notice this point right here is the point like 2, 0, and this point right here is the point 2, 1. Here's the point 2, 2. Here's the point 2, 3. You could go way down here, and here's the point 2, like negative 4. Notice your x values for all these points is 2. So, if notice you don't see any y's, notice it does not even touch or hit the y-axis, so it's a special line. So if you had the line x equals negative 4, okay, easy to graph. go to your x-axis, find -4. There it is. And it would just be a nice vertical line through x equals -4. Okay? So that's a special line. You're just going to have to memorize that one. What if you had y equals 3? Now notice there are no x's. Never do you see an x. And let me just tell you, this is a special line. Kind of makes sense. If this guy is going to be vertical, I bet this guy's horizontal, and it is. Go to your y-axis. It is a y value. Go to 3. There's the 3. And it's going to be a nice horizontal line right through 3. Okay? Because notice this point right here. This point right there is 0, 3. And this point right here is like the point 1, 3. And this point right here is 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3. Notice the y value is always 3. So if I had this, y equals -1, again, easy, easy peasy. As long as you remember, go to the y-axis, go to -1, there it is, and it's going to be a nice horizontal line. Make sure you extend it and put some arrows on it through the line y equals -1. Now, mine's looking a little shaky. You get you a nice ruler straight edge. I'm, like I said, looking through my phone, so I've got a good excuse. You don't have any good excuses. So there you go.